Story time about how I was scammed by a Florida immigration lawyer at the beginning of my immigration journey. In 2022, my spouse and I came to the United States and we got married around 5 months after being in the United States. I was subject to a 2-year home rule. That's basically when they put on your J1 visa that you have to return to Jamaica for 2 years before you can adjust your status or be granted a waiver. I was not planning to go back to Jamaica for 2 years, so I wanted to apply for a waiver. I was very intimidated by the process of the waiver application, even though I probably could have just done it by myself if I just sat and read. However, I decided to go with a lawyer. So in November 2022, sent the money, paid all the fees, gave her all the documents, and waited. So around February of 2023, I haven't heard anything back from her firm, so I reached out trying to find out what's going on. They told me that the application is being reviewed by the attorney. I'm like, reviewed? What's there to be reviewed? You have the money, you have the documents, submit it. Then they told me that they couldn't get the portal online to work. So that's when I'm like, okay, can I do the application and then send it to you guys and you submit it? They said yes, sure, and they sent me the link to the portal. So I went on the portal, I filled out the application, and I sent them the docket that I was sent. Then they told me that they will get the application out that week. I said, okay, and waited. So that was in February of 2023. I reached out to the Embassy of Jamaica in around June because I'm like, all right, may I wait for months, I'm not hearing nothing back. When I reached out to them, they told me that the application wasn't submitted until that said month, which is June, and they had an issue processing the money order, so they returned the application. So at that point, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So I reached back out to the firm and I'm like, they told me that the money order was returned. What's going on? She's like, yeah, we resend it and it was accepted. So from hiring her in 2022, November 2022, she didn't submit the application until June of 2023. And I didn't hear anything back from Jamaica until November of 2023, saying that I needed to finish paying off my student loans in order to get the letter. I'm like, okay, fine, that's fair. So I sent the money to finish clearing off my student loans, and in February of 2024 is when I finally got the letter from Jamaica, basically saying that they don't need me to come back to Jamaica to fill out the 2-year physical presence requirement. So when I got the letter, I reached back out to the firm. I'm like, hey, I got the letter. How long will it take the Department of State to process my application? They told me that it takes around 2 to 4 months. I'm like, okay, cool. But I had a application number, and when I checked the Department of State website, it would say that there's no application officially mailed in for me. So that is when I emailed the Department of State. It took like 30 days to get a response from them. And they responded saying, hey, we don't have an application for you on file. So that's when I'm like, okay, what the fuck is going on? So I emailed back the firm that was representing me, supposed to be representing me. And I'm like, hey, I reached out to the Department of State. They told me that there's no application on file. What's going on? They're like, oh, we submitted everything. Everything is submitted. All you have to do is wait, and we can start compiling your case for the adjustment. It's going to be $8,000. So I'm like, I'm not paying $8,000 for an adjustment of status case. There's nothing special about my case. And I don't want to do the adjustment of status with you, considering I've been having so much problems with my waiver. Then the lady was basically telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not a lawyer. She's the lawyer. And my case is processing as usual. A waiver that was supposed to take 6 to 8 months took me 2 years. Yeah. So after telling her that, Department of State said that they don't have an application for me, she gave me a really sassy response in an email saying like, I already told you I already submitted everything. We can start working on your adjustment of status. You just have to pay us $4,000 and then we can start compiling the evidence, and that's going to take 6 months to compile. I'm like, why is evidence going to take 6 months to compile? I already have all the evidence that I need for my immigration case. I gave her a really long 1-star review on Google. All of her other reviews were 5 stars, so I was trying to figure out if I was the only person she was fucking over, or all those other reviews robots. We'll never know. I needed some help to clean up the mess that was going on with my case. So after talking to a few people in my area, I found a nice local immigration lawyer, older woman, not on TikTok, going live, trying to fearmonger people, trying to get people to go to her consultation and tell them that they have to pay 100 million fees just so that that lawyer can sit on your case for months. And I actually have not spoken to my lawyer since the initial consultation because she would just pass me on to her assistant and her assistant would just give me bullshit answers. If you pay somebody for a service and the service was not granted, then that's a scam. And she scammed me. And I wanted to put like the emails and the correspondence in this video, but I don't know if that would lead to any legal implications for me, considering, you know, the emails are client attorney privilege and I signed a bunch of contracts at the beginning of the journey. So I'm not gonna put them in. But she's on TikTok. She's a Jamaican and she's based in Florida. And if you're going through the immigration journey right now, just go and hold the faith. Story time about how I was scammed by a Florida immigration lawyer at the beginning. Word in the street is I'm getting sued, but that's not the case. At least not yet. I was hit with a cease and desist by the lawyer that beswindled me a few days ago. In the cease and desist, they're asking me to retract my statement, remove my video, and remove my review because I am participating in defamation of character. But the last time I checked, in order for someone to defame another person, the allegations must be false. However, everything I said in my video is truth, backed by evidence. So what I did was compiled all the emails sent to her, sent to the consulate of Jamaica, sent to the Department of State that can back my story that I am telling the truth. I also included some other witness statements of people who came forward and shared their experiences with me about her in this. I'm going to file an official complaint with the Florida Bar Association. The last time I checked, if you want to go to court, you have to prove that what you're saying is true. Evidence is documented, and I kept all of my emails for this very moment because I knew that I was not going to allow her to just be able to take advantage of me and countless of other immigrants, banking on us to be silent, banking on us to not speak up for ourselves, banking on us to say, I just a Jamaican say, I just have to take it as water under the bridge and move on. With this document, I can prove that I was the one who filled out the application. I was the one that kept abreast with the Consul of Jamaica. I was the one who received the initial application and sent it to her and her team. I was the one who received the no objection statement and sent it to her and her team. And also, in Exhibit W, she says, "Good morning, ma'am. I'm not clear what you're asking. The application was filed and has been approved. We have notified you that we are waiting for the Department of State to recommend approval to USCIS. All required evidence have been submitted in your case. I encourage you that you be patient and wait for further notification." So here she says that the application has been submitted to the Department of State, and that was on February 21st, 2024. And here, the Department of State emailed me March 15th, 2024, saying thank you for contacting the 212E waiver inquiries. To this date, the Waiver Review Division has not received your waiver application. And I had to submit that application and then reach back out to the consulate asking them to please resend my, you know what, girl, you want to sue me? Okay, fine. Everything that I have here is on record. And I also included, again, some of the comments from my video and some of the people who came to me saying they're having the same exact experience. So if I'm lying, then everyone is lying. And you're innocent? Okay, girl. Do you, Bookie?